Wasn't on my time in my memory. I forget you, babe, she ain't good for me.
Baby, I
Got
had
me
a
dreaming
dream.
like this
Got me
every
locked in the
night.
headlock.
Baby,
Got
close
me
my
wanna
eyes,
in
spend
my
the
block.
night.
Got me
In my
back to
bed,
her
I can't
and
see the
back to
light.
her.
Cause
Cause
she
she
knows
knows
that
that
paradise,
paradise
you and
ain't
mine.
mine.
Sipping on
Look,
the time in
look,
my memories.
what you see.
Oh wow, y'all. It gets pretty interesting in this clip with Billy Carson. My bad. I don't want to call him Bill Carson, but Billy Carson. I would say this. I haven't really followed Billy Carson like that, but I have seen him on different podcasts, and he seems like a very intelligent man. And I do resonate with the intellectuals. Shout out to him. And it seems like he's doing a lot of amazing things, almost like one of the black Elon Musk. And I was watching another podcast of him where he was saying that 4 billion. Is he worth 4 billion? Like, oh wow. But anyway, so he talks about a tragic situation that he remembers, and I just want to get into it because he really got obviously like appeased by what was being talked about and discussed. And I just never seen, a man with so much structure and finesse like beat like caught off guard, I guess. So we're going to go into it a little bit and kind of watch. This is taken off of the podcast. Um, okay, Flagrant Clips. About 24 minutes. Is called Billy Carson Shares Traumatic Alien Confrontation Story. So basically, it is said that he was confronted with aliens. He was talking about how he remembered it, so forth, so on. Let's get into it, shall we? We're gonna skip some of the phonetics and get right into the reaction.
If you start researching these alien abduction experiences or these alien sighting experiences, which there are now over 7 million of them documented in MUFON, you start to see a.
That's crazy. Now, I didn't even know. Like, I feel like I've even had one, but it wasn't like his. But then, too, mine wasn't an abduction. It was just experience, right? Um, gotta turn this phone off. But it definitely wasn't. Excuse me. It definitely wasn't. One of the aliens he talked about, like the typical aliens, with the green fake heads, the green eyes, little black eyes. Like it wasn't that, and
Similarity
I didn't.
between the stories and
Hold up,
repetitiveness
dang
with
it,
some.
and I never seen it physically, so I saw a shadow. If that makes sense, like it's hard to explain, but yeah. So at the end of the day, because like if I would have seen the real thing, the way the structure of the shadow was, I probably would have flipped my lid. I'm just gonna say that. But they came in peace from what I did see, you know. But anyway, so he goes into what he says that several people have had their experiences. I may have to go to this website and put my little experience on there, but I do know they have certain signs and symptoms that they say that happens to people who experience abductions and stuff. And I have had some signs and symptoms. I'll say that. Um, like bruises appearing out of nowhere and lights flickering, stuff like that. But I don't know. But I feel like that also can be because we are electrical beings, you know. So therefore, this and that. But anyway, so he said there's a website you can go to put your experience and read experiences over 70 or 7 million. I don't know which one he said, 70 or 7. Y'all let me know down below. But that's like unheard of. Like that many people feeling comfortable to share their experiences. I might actually have to go to the website and see. Oh, I did not want that to come up. Hold up. I forgot this is live and in effect. But that's crazy. So he basically said like monsoon or something, or you can go read people's experiences. Yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, let's cause even the other day I was looking at my leg and I was like, how I get that bruise on my leg? And it was like it was noticeable. And it stayed there even now, like it's a little trace of it. I'm like, how you get that bruise on your leg? So yeah, there's different symptoms that they say that you've been abducted. I do know there's times where I don't remember my dreams. You know, they do say they can zap you. I don't know, but I don't remember anything like that. But if that happened, I wouldn't be surprised because, like I said, I do have some of the symptoms of abduction. But he wasn't abducted here, but I do want to talk about it because I kind of listened to some of it and want to go into it depth with y'all. So yeah.
Some of the visitations or sightings or whatever you want to call them, and so it's quite possible that they isolate and interact with specific people at specific times. I mean, you know, to what agenda? I mean, at the end of the
To be honest, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. I do believe because the man asked him, "Do you feel like they target certain people?" And I, of course, right? Because I don't feel like they are that uncalculated to go pick a random hobo off the street and be like, "Come with me." But then too, they could, you know, they're free to do that. But I feel like it's one of my thoughts on what it is. The crazy thing that I thought of, yo, I think I've said this before. I think it's like they're you, but like in the future, or like your relatives, like in the future when I don't know where I've heard this before. I definitely heard them somewhere. Like somebody said that's what I think it is, or that's what the alien said. I'm not sure. Like it's you in the future trying to help you currently, but I don't know. But that's the only thing. Like that's what I would say. And that's why they do so much experiments and this all this because they're trying to get the civilization to last more than this. And I guess because of all the toxic pollutions and stuff like that, they turn into the way they look. But I feel like that's who they are, future us, which is crazy because they can teleport, time travel, all this stuff, right? So they're coming back in time to have a conversation with you, and I feel like they can be family members. Even the experience that I kind of had, it was like I felt something like on my back, like comforting me because I was upset, I think. And then I looked and I saw a shadow that I ain't going to. You have to go to that website, I guess, to find out the whole story because I didn't know there was a website like that. But it was definitely not threatening. It was definitely like to be honest, it felt like a family member. That's the crazy part. So yeah, that's my theory on that. And I feel like they just come in to check on you, stuff like that. Or you got some of their DNA, something like that. Something, because they do say that there's some of them that's here that are living amongst us, like in human form. They can adjust the way they look, stuff like that. And they said that the fallen angels did come to, what is it, mass produce with the humans. So I just feel like they come back to check on their offspring. Not saying I'm a alien offspring or nothing, but I won't be surprised because I definitely don't feel like I'm this part of this world sometime. I feel like otherworldly, but I'm definitely human. So let's get into his story because I know y'all tired of talking about what I got going on. Let's go.
Today we're like ants.
Did you have any communication at all? Did you feel anything in the moment?
I felt nothing in that moment. I had a second experience in 2010, which is well documented. I've talked about it. It took years to come out about it because
They were like ants. Wait a minute. I know they weren't that dang little. So I must have heard him wrong because I know they weren't that dang little. Let's keep going.
I basically lost my whole family over this.
No way.
Yeah.
Now that was
You came out of the closet?
you can tell he got emotional on that. And to be honest, when you hear him in a minute, like it's you'll see. Keep watching. But of course, losing your family is a big traumatic thing.
No.
So you have to decipher when he's talking. Is he talking about the loss of his family structure or the whole incident itself? It's kind of hard to decipher which one. Both were pretty astronomical. But I do want to comment on the astronomicalness of it all. Let's keep going.
No Diddy.
No.
But yeah,
Tell
I
me.
did.
The fact that he said no Diddy is funny because it's like, did you finally come out the closet with your family? When he said he lost his family, he's like, no Diddy. If you don't know what that means, you don't need to know, I guess.
Wait, what happened?
So 2010, I came home. I was working on this big project called Fort Terra Nova, which I built.
And that's kind of funny because, they're saying that Diddy hasn't come out the closet. People are speculating that he could be in the closet. And it's so funny if he is because literally he's one of the most out of the closet people that I know. Like, he seems to not give a dang.
And Fort Terra Nova it was on the History Channel.
I think I do remember about Chernobyl. I didn't know it was for Chernobyl. I do remember. I think it was like a bunch of pipes, but I'm tripping because why would pipes have anything to do with aliens, anything to do with anything? But I think it was something dealing with the water supply. That wasn't too long ago, if that's the case. And it was like a whole government thing. But I know a black man was heading that. I'm gonna have to look into that Chernobyl.
Countdown to Apocalypse, the Nostradamus episode.
Countdown to Apocalypse? Are you freaking kidding me? Like, apocalypse means annihilation of humanity, of all human beings. Like, oh dang. Well, I guess eventually that could happen, but so I gotta look into the Chernobyl thing now, because like, what does it have to do with anything of annihilation? Like, it was like dealing with like water supply going through channels. But yo, that's so crazy thinking about that because I just was reading this situation about the water channels and how anyway, just it was like a spiritual channel, and it was this man talking about how he used to work for what is it, the Woman of the Coast, which if you don't know is supposed to be like this mythical mermaid ruling the seas, and she interacts with people of the government, time, space, politicians, crazy, and gives a lot of references to Illuminati, and she also is supposed to be working for the devil, allegedly. So that's crazy, and she is supposed to run the seas, run the waters. So the fact that you was successfully able to do anything in the water, if that deals with the water, is interesting as well, because I've heard some mermaid stories like they be trying to jack stuff up if you ain't appeasing them, which is crazy. And of course these are like mythical creatures, right? Not like Among Us, but Among Us, I don't know. Let's keep going.
And
I just be rambling, I'm sorry. Let's keep
anyway, so I was working on this project. I come home, I'm looking at ESPN, and I'm looking at sports. At about 9 o'clock p.m. All the lights turn dim, the TV turns off, and I thought my kids were playing a trick on me because they lived up in the room behind me, up on the second floor.
Oh snap! The lights turn dim. Yo, cause like that happens to me. Like I can make it happen. Like power go off, lights go off. Like they can just like happen with me, right? But maybe that's like them about to show up. Like you know what's up. Cause usually I do it like if I'm like focused on something or somebody get pissed or something. Sometimes I'm able to do it more, and it's like kind of like how Kevin Gates said he was able to charge a battery. Like I really feel like we're electrical beings. You know what I'm saying? So him doing that, saying it's not too far fetched. Like I feel like that's the thing. But also I feel like if that happens, because people have who've been abducted have said they've noticed flickering lights and light problems with electricity and stuff like that. Well, maybe that's your alien goons connected with you. Like if you need them, they are letting you know they're there to help, there to assist. That's dope. Like I didn't know that, cause like I was actually going through a situation recently where I was like pissed off and having to stand up for myself, and I was in a dark room with somebody. Not like that, but literally they wanted some privacy and to talk about what we were talking about, and the lights was flickering, and I do know it could have been a warning because the person was kind of shady, but they wanted this information to help me, but like it kind of looked moving shady, you know. But anyway, so the lights kept flickering, and then they would flick off when I would like do what I do, and then they'd flick on, and I had to help keep them on and stuff like that, allegedly. So it was like, because like who's flicking on lights for real, you know? But I think it was just a bad short in the room circuit. But anyway, so like I guess they was like letting me know like we here to go down if we need to go down. Like the whole room was janky. The whole situation is janky. As a matter of fact, let's keep going.
I look up and there's nobody there. When I turn around, there were these two beings right there.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. And whew.
I'm sorry what he said. Get the whole guy that's like
I'm a therapist who goes to therapy. And
the what's his name? The interviewer, he's like funny looking to the fact like he looks are cartoonish, but he's obviously
No.
not cartoonish because like he has a whole beard, like a mustache, hair. Like I love whoever did his phonetic. He doesn't look real almost. Like it's crazy, but I like it. But he looks like a gentleman, but like not real. If that makes sense. So anyway, he gets emotional, and that's what I want you to like focus in on, like this part, like him acknowledging that he's seen the aliens.
What do you have to freak yourself, man?
No.
So they were right there. I'm sitting in a chair about this high.
And I don't know if you can see it, but when you actually watch the clip, you see like he starts like perspiring and crying in sync, like immediately as he's going back. So it's like he gotta be telling the truth. But anyway.
So they were right here in my eyes, and
Yo, Alex is freaking out right now. What the fuck? This is why.
And that's dope that he trying to calm him down. Like that's respect. Like, cause you know how men don't want you to see them cry. And I'm gonna say this, like, some situations, like a man's man, we don't want to see you cry, right? I'm speaking from a woman's perspective, but not every woman's perspective. Just my perspective. But I'm not most women. But like I don't feel like he's less of a man for this, because like if I would have encountered what he encountered, you know, and then had the loss of his family, like he had like 3 kids, a wife, and they like you'll hear like that's traumatic. So I don't think like stuff like that, like obviously that's traumatic, like because who's seeing aliens every day, right? So I feel like that's normal, you know. I feel like that's cool.
Oh, okay.
all right, let me get myself together.
No,
So,
take your time.
So they were there. They had the big almond eyes like you see on TV. I swear they did.
So you had two beings in front of
but
you.
they didn't look like they were real eyes. They looked like coverings or something.
And that's tight. Like, I've never heard that recantation of it, that recap of it. Like, they had coverings on their eyes, yo. That's dope. I feel like they had coverings because of the, and I'm just making up words, right? Etherical atmosphere, lining of the atmosphere. Like, it's probably too dense or too polluted that they have to wear some kind of special, like, kind of like shades, but they're more mythical, intellectual shades. So coverings for the eyes, that's dope. Anyway, let's keep going.
Type.
Shout out for him for letting me know that aliens wear shades. Why they doing a shady business? Yeah. Hold up. High tech shades at that, my guy.
And they didn't communicate with me through any kind of telepathy that I can tell, but I felt like my brain was shaking in my skull to the point where it started hurting, and I started screaming, but no sound.
Now that's crazy. Like, he was screaming because his brain was shaking. Okay, no wonder he's emotional talking about it, because he said it was hurting. Now, dang, like, I'm trying to figure out how they had the access to his brain without actually touching his brain, because it was moving from side to side, from left to right. Like, dang, that's crazy. Oh snap. Y'all comment down below what I just thought about. What did I just think about? It was like kind of, what is it, copacetic of what I was just doing. What was I just thinking about happened to him? Comment down below now. If you're right, nah, I can't give it to you because I'm about to say what it is. I was about to say I'm catch up you $100, but I can't say what it is. So I'm about to say what it is, so how I know you ain't, so I know I'm not gonna cash app you. Maybe he received this massive download and his brain couldn't take it. Yo. Cause after that he goes ham.
Was coming out of my throat. I can feel the air coming out, but I couldn't hear it myself.
And you were awake during this period. You
I
weren't
was
taking
awake,
a nap or anything like that?
taking a nap. No psychedelics.
Of course, yeah.
And
the crazy thing, he said his family was like in the other rooms, like they was in the house, but they didn't hear none of this. He said he was trying to yell, but they silenced him, which that's respect though, because it's like they were gonna do what they were gonna do regardless. And like, he was which found out he was like a genius. I didn't even realize it because I was watching another flagrant clip, and he was talking about he was reading novels at 1 year old. So obviously he definitely could be a part of the alien crew or genius crew. Like, it makes sense. What the freak? And it wasn't like people were forcing him to do that, because he talked about how he had siblings and he could tell that they were normal kids, but he wasn't. That's dope. That's dope. So if y'all haven't watched any of the flagrant clips with him, y'all definitely go watch it, because I'm blown away off of this and the fact that he was one reading novels. And when I say novels, I'm not talking about no picture books, baby. That part. Let's keep going. Shout out to the Black Power, Black Magic.
My whole house, everyone was in. My wife at the time, my ex-wife was in the bedroom right behind the next wall. My girls were in that side of the house. A split floor plan. My boys were in that side of the house. The house was full of people. Nobody heard or saw anything. I was screaming.
He said girls and boys. So he had more than 3 kids? When was that, Chernobyl? I think that was in 2010, 19. I can't even think. But he had like a whole family. He was going to work. Anyway, let's keep going. But he's remarried now. And I'm actually watching this podcast with her, like, just to see, like, because I know he was like married. Well, I know he was married, but I critique relationships a little bit. It's crazy. But I'm getting the vibe. Well, she's gorgeous. She's like an Asian black looking thing. Elizabeth. Her name do not look like no Elizabeth. But anyway, but it was giving me vibes. I haven't watched the whole thing. Like, she just kind of like into him more so for his money. But I could be wrong. But anyway, he happy, they happy, whatever. Hope she don't leave him like his first wife. Because that's just messed up. Because I kind of want to like call Flick and Fire on the first wife, like she did wrong for that. But then too, thinking about the time and how people looked at them as being weird, I guess. But like, girl, if you in love, stand by your man. Like the fudge, you got 4 kids by him, 5, maybe more. I don't even know. And you said I'm gonna go raise him by myself, girl. Bye. Thumbs down for her.
A few seconds later, it stops, and they turn around and they don't walk like a person. They kind of dangle. So they kind of dangled away.
That was funny. That's funny. Well, to be honest, it's so funny because the experience that I seen, now it's probably too much tea. That's probably too much tea. And too much tea. I was on a 2-story building house, and they were looking through a window at me. No hands. Like a thing. But like I said, it could have been a dream. It could have definitely been a dream. But I don't think it was.
And they went right through the wall. And then, boom, the TV comes back. The lights come back to normal color. And that's when I went running around the house. And it was just traumatic for everybody, you know. And it was like the straw that broke the camel's back. There was other reasons why. But, you know, I ended up my one son, Giovanni, he's told me I'm scared to even come around you, and still to this day he rarely ever calls me or comes around. It's kind of like I lost my son. I made no.
And that's so sad. Like that's up. Like that's crazy. Cause this man is not no ordinary man by no means. Like you can kind of tell that. Cause you like, I won't forget this time when it kind of freaked me out, but it did freak me out because I know people do it, and I haven't done it yet, but like I know people do it. Kind of like an astral projecting thing, and I've experienced people doing it. I've even seen people astral project, and I can see them. Yeah, people can see your ass. I mean, but I remember I seen my mom one time, my ex-husband. Yeah, and both of them were spiritual people I didn't know until later on. But anyway, so gotcha, bitch. Like they didn't think I saw him, but I saw that. Well, one occasion I did tell my mom that I seen him, but it wasn't her. It was it was crazy. It was a version of her that I seen. Let me stop. That's too much tea. But anyway, so and me and my brother saw her, and then it was a different, like realistic version of her that was seen, and her ex-husband saw that, and several people. Anyway, let's stop, cause she already too much to handle, right? Okay, so anyway, and like people say part of sleep paralysis, because my brother experienced sleep paralysis. I haven't, luckily, because I've probably been to fall somebody. But they said that's a form of you about to astral project, or you coming back into your body, something like that. And so if you sleep serious paralysis, there's a chance that you have been astral projecting unaware. But anyway, when I knocked the fudge with him, which I know it's not scary, but it's like you're on another level. Even though I know several people can do it, right? And to be honest, I almost did it one time. And I caught myself. And I woke myself up because I heard these loud sirens or something. And I said, oh, heck no. But anyway, so I probably could do it again, but ain't nobody got time for that right now. But anyway, so I was watching this clip where he said that he, when he's doing his speeches and talking, sometimes he'll step outside of himself in a form of astral body, and he'll watch himself speak, watch himself talk. And then I was like, oh, he ain't want to play with. That's when I knew that he wasn't want to play with. And to be honest, it's actually a person who does it that I'm cool with. But I haven't seen them physically, but it's like I know they can do it, and it's like I think I felt them touch me one time. That freaked me the freak out. Cause I didn't know you can touch people in the astral. I didn't know you can touch people in the astral, but apparently you can. But that makes sense too. But anyway, so yeah. So if you want to freak somebody out, make stuff move. Like if you like have stuff moving around your house, sometimes it's just people playing with you in the astral. That part. But anyway, let's back to this motherfucking story because I went on a whole nother tangent of too much in my business. So y'all get out my motherfucking business.
Money off of this. I got no exposure off of this. That's why I kept it quiet for so long. Lost my family. Created a lot of dissension. I remember we were on the highway one day and my wife.
Oh, okay. So that's basically all I wanted to see. Y'all definitely go watch Flagrant Clips to see the whole 20-something minutes of it because I didn't want to slip past to this part here. He asked a pretty important question. Yeah. I don't want to talk about
No. Have you heard of this?
Aleister Crowley's depiction of a lamb?
Of the entity that he was talking to.
Oh, the entity. Oh, yeah.
Was that similar to what you saw? Can you bring it up, Mom?
That's horrifying. More like a clown. It's like that big.
Well, dang, I need to watch the whole thing then, because that's not the clip that I was talking about. It was a clip that, basically, what the heck is this? What the freak is that? Okay, I'm going to have to watch that again. What I'm talking about is this it?
I gave my share to the other partners and just jumped off.
No, okay, basically the guy asked him like if he had to experience that experience again, the interviewer, would he do anything differently? And I'm not even trying to be weird, but like the whole time this is one guy had his arm around Billy the whole time. It's like, I mean, I don't think it was like nothing on like gay or anything like that, but it could have been. But I'm just like, why the whole time though? Is that like normal? Because most guys be like, man, move your arm. But and then he got a computer, so it's like you should have your hand on a computer. But anyway, I like his man bun. It's kind of weird, but anyway, it's cool. And anyway, so this me off topic. But anyway, so what I wanted to say to Billy Carson, because Billy Carson goes on to say he went on to this he went onto this rant of wanting to find anomalies. Like he said in his search, the aliens gave him this message where he had to go to this website, and because he kept hearing it in his head, and he did his research on it and found out that it was this place of like mass space anomalies where there were so many sightings like pyramids and different Egyptian artifacts found in space, which is, I mean, astronomical, like amazing. Trying to use all these big words, but anyway, I'm not trying to, just like literally coming out. But if you don't know, if you interact with people or beings on higher levels of consciousness, you tend to elevate, speak, think on higher levels of consciousness just by being in their presence and their thought form platform. Yeah. So anyway, back to this. What I wanted to say, like kind of like a message to Billy Carson, because I'm sure when he's been on this quest, like it's just been this mass quest of him doing all this research, traveling and looking for artifacts, different things. Allegedly, he said he's one of the most prolific people to have researched artifacts, I think. And I was just gonna say, if he feels the need to call those alien beings back up, because I'm sure he probably has a lot of questions, I'm sure they would communicate with him, they would talk to him, they would help him, and he doesn't have to feel threatened. What I feel is like they were trying to communicate with him when they interacting with him, but it was too traumatic of a experience. If you don't know, when it comes to the paranormal, it's like a at will thing, and it's like a choice thing, which is pretty much anything in life, free will. And when they seen that he was so traumatized, I think they just left. And same thing with him screaming, they cut off his voice where he was screaming, and it was really just to protect his family. So I thought they was thoughtful. I thought that was thoughtful because he could have literally been screaming, his family coming there like, what the freak is wrong with you? He literally, they came, they saw, they conquered, they did the brain shake. They covered his mouth to where he couldn't yell and scream because obviously he was gonna be mortified. Um, but I guess they thought he could handle this since he was reading mother freaking novels at 1 years old, bro. But they was like, nah, he ain't ready. So they duck and levitate or whatever they do back into the wall and disappear. And then from there, he goes into this like downloads and brain freezums of like orgasms. Like he just has to explore the world. But these beings have always been with him. Of course, they watch over you, but it's like they can't interact with you unless you allow them to, ask them to, you know, per se. So if you ever need that guiding light, that help, don't be afraid to interact with them. That's what I want to say, because they're not bad aliens. I don't say that often, but I don't feel like these were bad aliens, because I feel like they were bad. They would have put him on the table, shut him up, this and this and this and that. I feel like they've done stuff with him. Like I said, some people have signs that they've been abducted, this and that. Because even with my experience, it was a situation where I was kind of scared, but I wasn't. Because like I said, so it's like, and I haven't really had that experience anymore. But if I wanted to, I probably could, because they're like always around. I just talk to them from a distance. When I look into the sky, I be like, "What's up, my people? Help me out," or something like that. But the deal is, I just don't feel like they was bad, because I feel like they was bad, they wouldn't have provoked that scream for getting out loud and massive to just like his family, because obviously his family couldn't take it. Like, he was just having a story about it. Instead of him, they just like laughing off like, "Oh, you're cuckoo, you're crazy." They left him. You know what I'm saying? And maybe they foresaw that, and maybe they was just trying to protect him. And then on top of that, they disappeared. Like, he only saw them for a second. So I feel like they were caring about his feelings, caring about him being terrified. That says a lot, because if they didn't care, they would have just stood there and like maybe poked him, pricked him, and even though they probably done that since because they had to, but not like while he was awake, conscious, if that makes sense. So yeah, I feel like I just had to get that message out, like, because I don't want, because after he had such a traumatic experience with the eyes, the tears, and the sweating coming on, it seemed like it's traumatic, and they don't want, of course, any paranormal doesn't want you to have traumatic experiences, or that goes against your free will. Like, they can't help you. So if you need help, if you need guidance on what they were doing, what they were like, I'm sure they will communicate with him. That's it. That's all. Y'all be safe out there. The aliens are obviously among us. No need to fear. But yeah, it just don't go down the rabbit hole if you don't want to become a mole, because man, it is deep down the rabbit hole. Just stay afloat, unless you mentally strong, mentally capable of diving deep. That's all I'm gonna say. So thanks for stopping by. Once again, go check out Flagrant Clips, and shout out to Flagrant Clips for that segment that I'm able to dissect and talk about. And he has other ones as well that I might look into. He has one about Jesus, one about different races, aliens, and all that. Like, I watch them by another day. I only can take so much at a time.
we at the